And she wanted me to share with her some new things that I have learned and how I share the oils now, because it's really, really simple. And it's so simple that I don't really give out samples anymore. And it takes me like half the time to get someone to enroll in doTERRA. And honestly, the people that I sit down and talk to, like 70% of them end up purchasing right then and there. So it's really changed my sales rate, and it makes it a lot more comfortable, and it feels really professional. And so I wanted to share with her how I set up conversations with people to learn about the oil, so how I set up appointments, and then how to actually have, I call it a sales conversation. So how to go in and actually have a conversation where someone ends up and they purchase right then and there. And I want to give you kind of the step-by-steps, give you some of the scripts that I use, and maybe even help you guys come up with some of your own scripting if what I'm saying isn't comfortable or quite there for you guys. Is there anything else that you guys want to cover? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I just wanted to support this all because, Barbara, I was impressed when Brittany enrolled within like 1 day, 2 people whom she never met, whom she never talked to, and I just gave her contact on Facebook of a person, and like in 24 hours she told me that she enrolled them. I was like, what? Like without even a sample, without even like introducing, etc. The only thing that these people, they were a little bit warm because our mutual contact, she was kind of sharing her story and she was talking about oils with them. So they were at least interested to learn. But Brittany did like an amazing job, and I was like, how did you manage this? And that's why this is how it all came up.
Yeah, and Liana, I don't know if I told you too, but each of those conversations that I had with those ladies was under 30 minutes long. And that included like, hey, how are you? Like a little get to know you as well. So, and I did it over the phone. So it's super, super simple. And that's what I love about this is I feel like it's very, very simple. So the first part of this kind of, this whole system is that the first thing that we need to realize is that when we sell oils, we try not to sell, we call it on the fly. So make sure that we are, when we're talking with somebody, maybe oils somehow come up in the conversation. And Barbara, you might have like friends or family that end up saying like, oh my gosh, I need to learn more about these oils. And so at that point, we get really excited, right? And
yep.
If someone does that to you, what do you end up doing, Barbara? Do you usually tell them right then and there about it? Or what do you do, Barbara?
I usually tell them then, yeah. And, but I have about 5, 6 people who are ordering through me. They don't want to set up an account. And I'm really hesitant, but at least they're doing it, they're getting into it. But I have people, they're very slow, very reluctant. But I guess that's just the way it is. And I don't want to push them in any direction if they don't want to. So I really say, okay, back up, back off a little bit.
Sure. I totally get that. So one thing that I was doing this too of when someone said, hey, I'm interested in the oils, then I would just try to share with them right then and there. And what I actually learned is that if I set up an appointment, a dedicated time to talk with them, it was much easier to be able to sell them essential oils. Because if someone's just saying, hey, I want to learn more, even though they might want to purchase right then and there, it's hard to do that. It's hard for them to actually purchase right then and there because they're not really in the mindset to buy right then. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
yep.
It's super important that as we are setting up appointments, and this is, when I'm just out and about and I'm coming into contact with people, or whether I'm actively working like, okay, I want to, sell 5 kits this month or whatever I have in my goals for doTERRA. So whatever that looks like for you, the process is very similar. So you want to first tell people what to expect when they have an appointment with you. So we say that's an agenda. And we also want to tell people how long it's going to take. And we want to tell people that there's no pressure to buy. So we want to take any like anxiety or pressure away from them. So the little script that I use, Barbara, if you and I were talking and you had told me that you were interested in oils and maybe we're out and about, you know, having lunch together just as friends, I would say, oh my gosh, I'm super excited. I would love to share them with you. So typically what I do is I set up an appointment where we can talk about your health concerns. I'd go over some doTERRA products that would help with those. And I would let you know how to get any of the oils if you wanted to get them that day, but there's no pressure to buy. My part will take about 30 minutes. And then I would give you 2 times that we could do that at. So I'd say, you know, I've got Tuesday at 3 o'clock open or Friday at 7 o'clock open. Which time would work well for you? And then I just set up.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes total sense, yeah.
Right, so instead of like, we're at lunch and then I start spewing into all these oils and you're not really ready to buy, you know, you're not in that mindset or in that frame. Whereas when we have our appointment at, you know, Tuesday at 3 o'clock, you already know, like, okay, there's no pressure to buy, but if I want to get something, she's going to tell me how to do that. We're going to go over my health concerns. Like, we know exactly what's happening. Does that make sense? So
it makes sense, and I like that better than having 4 or 5 people here, and then you cannot talk individually, and then one leaves, and then the other one. You know, you're missing out on certain valuable information that you could actually give them.
Perfect. So it sounds like you want to do more. You would like to talk with people one-on-one rather than do a class where 4 or 5 people are there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Yep, that's what I prefer.
You know what?
It's nice to have them. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm leaning that way too, of it's easier to do one-on-ones for me as well. Because of what you were saying, Barbara, of like, you can really go into someone's health concerns and things. So I love that.
Yeah. The only issue, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Liana.
Yeah, as I understand, by appointment, Brittany means just simple phone call or coffee or just, you know, something that you kind of get to with person scheduled in advance. It's like the format doesn't matter here, right, Brittany?
Yep.
Yeah, and another question is my big concern is telling people about health concerns. Maybe they don't have any health concerns. I mean, of course, maybe everyone has some, but they don't, like, especially with someone you don't know very well, they would not be open to tell you about their health concerns, right? I mean, how do you approach people without supporting health concerns?
Yeah, so I'll go into what you actually start saying. So this is just like, that's setting up the appointment. So let's say now we're at the appointment, all right? So what do we do once we get to the appointment? This was how to book. Okay. So this is kind of the outline that you're going to go through once you're at that sales appointment. So when you get there, maybe we're sitting down across from each other or we're on the phone. I'm going to give you the agenda again. And I'm going to take off the pressure by again saying that, you know, if you see something you like, I'm going to help you purchase it, but there's no pressure to buy. And then I'm going to ask you questions about your health concerns. And I'll talk with you, Liana, about how to get people to open up a little bit more about that. And then I'm going to explain what doTERRA is. I'm going to talk about the top 10 oils. And then I'm going to tell them 2 kits, give them an option of 2 kits to buy. And then I'm going to go ahead and ask them if they want to get one of those kits today. So that's the outline. And it takes me about 30 minutes to get through that with somebody. So when I tell someone the outline, I'm just going to say we're going to go over your health goals. We're going to learn a little bit more about doTERRA and how to use essential oils and the most popular oils with doTERRA. My part's going to take 30 minutes. You don't have to buy anything, but if you see something you like, of course, I'll help you order it today. And just my goal is really to help you have safe and natural options for your health. So, and then Liana, I tell people, like, so I don't want to bore you with any information about the oils that you don't need. And so it's going to be helpful for me to know what your health concerns or your health goals are for those of your family members. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take notes and just write down any health concerns that you have. And
yeah, I like the health goals.
Yeah, health goals too. Like, you probably deal with a lot of really healthy people. So they maybe don't have a ton of concerns. So I just sit down with someone and I'll say, so tell me what some of your health goals are. And they'll tell me, maybe they'll start saying like, oh, just like maybe sleep and stress, right? When they say that, I repeat back to them. I say, okay, so you have some trouble with sleeping and with some stress. What else? And then you're just quiet. So you draw people out and you get a little more health concerns from them or health goals or what issues they're having by asking the question, what else? And I'll ask like 3 or 4 times, what else? What else? And then when I think honestly that it is, that they have all of them, or they'll tell you, I'll say, okay, great. And I'll just repeat those things back to them. And if they have some things in there, or they don't have some things in there that are really common, so I kind of have a list of common things like allergies, sleep, stress, tummy issues, migraines. I'm trying to think of what else is like more energy. If they don't have any of those things, then I ask them, are any of these things an issue? Because they often are for people.
Yeah. Do you ask them about the family members? Like, what about your husband, your partner, your mother? What?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say I wouldn't go into extended family members. I would just keep it to like spouse and kids. But if they start coming up with like, oh, my mom has this and my brother has that, like, I will for sure write those down if they want to share those with me. But I don't usually go into like extended family because I'd like their extended family to get their own oils for themselves. That makes sense. Right?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. And some are more into, and they're telling you everything, and while others say, okay, I have no concern, I don't have this. And then you talk a little bit further. Yeah, I see where, and I like your way, like how you approach it, not like the 10 oils that are in this kit. So really focus on the oils that help this specific person. I like that.
Yep. So, honestly, you're going to want to, at this point, all you've done at your sales conversation is you have just written down their health concerns. So you might have like sleep, stress, energy, they want to uplift their mood, and that's all you've written down. You haven't even told them about what oils are going to be helpful yet. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you're just listening at this point, and this is so important because you're establishing a lot of rapport with the people, and you're helping them know, like, I'm going to just listen to you. And for most of us, it's so easy to just continually be cut off in conversations, and you're not really being listened to. And so this is a very crucial step here. And then we're just going to ask them, what do you know about essential oils, or what do you know about doTERRA? So, okay. Barbara, why do you think it might be important to get an idea of what they already know?
Say it again, phrase it again.
Yeah, so why do we want to know, like, why would we ask them what they already know about doTERRA or what they already know about essential oils?
Why do we want to know? Well, if they have any knowledge at all, just let them talk a little bit and coming out of the shell.
Yeah, I think that's great, of just like giving them again some opportunity to talk. It's also going to tell us a lot of other things. So you'll know how to gauge your presentation based off of what they already know. So if they tell you, well, I don't even know what an essential oil is, then you know you might need to explain that. But if they tell you, I've been using oils for 20 years and I put it in my diffuser already and I put them on my body and all these things, then you know you don't have to explain as much about what oils are. Does that make sense too?
Okay. Yep. You know where to start off and what you have to inform them about. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. So, so you'll just ask what they already know about those things. So again, it's going to, okay. Sorry, I'm clicking through a little. I don't know if you can see this.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So at this point, you can talk a little bit about, what oils are and just explain that they're really concentrated and they're going to be more effective or more concentrated than herbs, and they really affect us on a cellular level. And then I'd like to explain what makes doTERRA different. So the way that I do this, my little script is I just say, so doTERRA is not like other oil companies. We're actually the largest essential oil company in the world now. And people turn to doTERRA because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they are kind of done with side effects and other things that are caused by maybe going to the doctors or reaching out for drugs more often than not. So they're sick of like high copays and things like that. So doTERRA has provided us with really high quality essential oils. These are the highest quality on the market. They have super high potency and purity. And we know this because we can actually get them, there's a little code that you can scan on the bottle, and you can see the process that they've been through to be certified in what we call a certified pure therapeutic grade, which basically just means that it's their promise to us that they're free of any contaminants or pesticides. They've been third-party tested in 2 independent labs. And to me, that makes a really big difference. The other thing that doTERRA does, they care about community. And so they do something called co-impact sourcing, where wherever the oils, they're getting their oils from, they're benefiting that community, like building schools in third world countries and making sure that women in places where they're suppressed are getting educated. And I love being part of that. So that's why I love doTERRA. Does that make sense, Liana and Barbara?
Yep. Oh, yes, it does. I didn't know about the code, and now I'm just looking at one of the oils. I see that. I've never looked at that. Okay.
Awesome. I'm so glad you know that now. So sometimes I say that, sometimes I don't, but I love that. You can scan those little codes. And so the key part here of this little section is just to say why doTERRA is different. So we say, why start using doTERRA? So I kind of said, people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So you pick whatever pain point it is that you want to address for people. It might be, people turn to doTERRA because of the high health costs nowadays, and they want something that's more effective and cheaper. Or people are sick and tired of, not knowing which products are quality products, and so they turn to doTERRA because they know they have a good quality product. So that's kind of the point of that. And then you choose 1 or 2 ways that make doTERRA different than other oil companies. And then I just say, now if it's okay with you, I want to actually take a look at your health concerns and figure out which oils are going to benefit you with those. And so they're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to jump into that, right? Okay, so sometimes I'll go into how we use them, but usually I'm doing that when I am talking about these oils with people. So what I do is I really talk about the top 10 oils. If there's other oils, and most of the top 10 oils can really help with, 90% of people's health issues. And occasionally there's one or two other oils that I'll recommend to people on top of that, but I really try to stick to these top 10. And the reason why is because if someone gets an oil from me and say they just get like Clary Calm, which helps with hormones. Well, when they have a headache, can they use Clary Calm to help with that?
Not necessarily, no.
No, probably not, right? Or
Nope.
if they want to sleep at night, can Clary Calm? Well, probably not. If they have breathing issues, can Clary Calm help with that? No. So it's nice to recommend these top 10 oils because they can cover so many different health concerns. And they're going to come up with, our goal is that people aren't just using it for their health concerns, that in the end they're using it for a wide range of things that continually come up with them, right? So that's partly my goal for them too, is just want to make sure they can use it for a lot of different things. And I also like bringing up the top 10 because I like to tell them a couple other things that they might not have thought of when it comes to their health concerns. They might not have thought of like, oh yeah, I really do want to go greener on my cleaning, or I really do get aches and pains occasionally, and they hadn't thought of that when we were talking about our health concerns. So I jump right into telling them about the top 10, and I just say, I'm going to share with you doTERRA's essential oils that are the most popular. I'm going to tell you how your health concerns can be helped by those oils, and then I'll recommend anything else to you that is not covered by any of these. So when I'm doing this, I usually am like over a little Skype or Zoom, and so I'll pick up like my lemon oil and I say, so the first oil I want to share with you about is lemon. And you talked about wanting more energy. So lemon is really good in the morning to put a drop or two in your water. It's going to kind of help clear out your digestive system first thing in the morning, which really helps reduce your load on your body and gives you more energy throughout the day. So you'll just put a drop or two in your water. Sounds pretty easy, right? And that's exactly it. People are going, okay, yep, that's pretty easy. So you just want to share with them one or two ways how to use that oil. And you'll be very specific, like you will put it in your water, 1 or 2 drops, and then drink it. Or let's say they have on their list is stomach ache. So when I get to DigestZen, I'll say, so the way you're going to use DigestZen is when you get an upset stomach, you're just going to take that oil and rub it directly over your stomach. And you are going to notice a big difference within just a few minutes. It's literally that easy.
Yeah, it's really great, because when I talk about oils with people, I always say I, like I put it on myself, or I put it on my father, or I did it on my kid, but I never used you variation here. This is interesting to notice.
Yep. Yeah, it's hard to switch from that too, and I have to really force myself and really think about, okay, how do I tell them you instead of me, right? Because in a nice way, these people that are struggling with different health concerns, they don't care about how you use them, right? They care about how they're going to be able to use them in their life. So we really want to help our customers, their friends or family, whoever it is, to be able to see how they're going to implement them in their life. Now, what if...
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense, right? So there's a few of the oils that sometimes I feel like don't directly relate to any of their health concerns. Inevitably, there's like 1 or 2. So it might be like Melaleuca or oregano. And I'll say for oregano, I'll say, oregano is an oil that I don't use on a daily basis. Or again, Liana, so I just caught myself there. So I might say oregano is an oil that you might not use on a daily basis, but you're going to love it for cooking any Italian food in the kitchen. So now I've just helped you see that oils can be used in cooking, right? And you are going to want oregano around when you've got the flu or something else that is kind of a really icky bug, because oregano is super antibacterial. So you'll put a drop or two, on the bottom of your feet with some coconut oil and put your socks over it so you're not smelling it, and it's going to really boost your immune system.
Or on your abdominals when you go to pee more often than you want to.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, be very careful. I think we all learned about that of a specific oil.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So when it's an oil that they're not going to use, that you can't figure out, like, how are they going to use, Melaleuca or oregano, you can come up with, it's not an oil that you're going to use every day, but you're going to want it when. So for me, I had to go through and write out some of the oils and say, the top ways that we use those oils, so that I knew in my head when someone said this, then I knew it would relate back to that oil. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I actually have,
totally.
I have a little script. I have a script all written out with all of this information.
Yeah,
So,
and important here, it's really not to overload people with information. Like you said, 1 or 2 use max per oil.
Yep. And I think it's counterintuitive, because we keep thinking, well, if we share with them so much information, then they're going to want to buy. If I only give them a little bit, then they're going to want to go home and research. And the opposite is true.
Yeah, there's a fine line, that's right. But it also depends on the person. So I guess it needs to be individualized, in my point of view.
Yeah, so Barbara, I also want you to think about, so I think that is true. Maybe we could give a little more information on some of these oils, like 2 or 3 ways to use them. But again, we want to keep it to practical application so that they can see how they're using it. And I like to give different examples, like in the water, putting on topically, in the diffuser. So I give kind of those 3 ways throughout it. And then if there's anything else, I will say, so I'll recommend at most 2 other products. So if they've told me something like energy is a big issue, or I'm really struggling with digestion or hormones, then I will recommend like 1 or 2 other products for that, and say, these could be add-on items to those other oils that you might want to consider. But then I tell them, I say, so these top 10 oils come in, so this is just, we have a little handout that people could take notes on. Sorry, I'll show you what those things are. Okay, I guess they have this little case study, so. I'm gonna go through these really quick.
Don't freak out.
I know, don't freak out, because we're going to talk about how to close somebody. So I want you to think about, with like young kids, do you wake up in the morning and just give your child any option for any food that they want? Or do you give them 10 options for food that they want? What does your kid end up doing? Like, they don't know what to pick, it takes all day. But if you give your child just 2 options, they feel like they have a choice, right? And it's easier for them to pick. So I was just talking to a friend who is getting married, and she's like, oh my gosh, we have to pick out wedding cake flavors. And there's like 50 different flavors. And I kind of laughed and I said, well, wouldn't it be nice if it was just chocolate or vanilla? It would be a lot easier to pick, right?
Yeah.
So what we've said in doTERRA is, I mean, there's several getting started kits with doTERRA or ways to get started, right? They could go retail. They could get a wholesale membership and then add on whatever oils they want. They could choose one of the 10 kits, right? You try to explain all of those ways to someone. It's going to take more than 30 minutes, one. And two, it's going to be so much information that they're going to feel like, I need to go home and research this out, right? Instead of being able to make a decision right then and there.
Correct.
So what we've said is that you should really simplify it and make just 2 options for somebody. So the 2 options that we recommend are the Family Physician Kit and the Home Essentials Kit. So the way that I explain it is I say, so now I want to tell you about how to get these oils into your home. doTERRA sells those top 10 oils that I just talked about in 2 kits. So the first kit is, I call it the small bottle kit. That's what I tell people, the small bottle kit. This is going to come with 85 drops, and it has those top 10 oils, 85 drops or servings. And it also comes with 2 little beadlets. So they like these little, you can pop them in your mouth. And I told you a little bit about how I love On Guard, and you'll use that when you're feeling sick, and peppermint to freshen your breath. So you've got those oils there too. And that's $150. And then the other kit that they have is $275, and it comes with 3 times the oil. So you're getting 3 times as much for definitely less than half the price. And it comes with a free diffuser. So I know we talked about putting Breathe into the diffuser to help your husband sleep at night. So this would be a really great kit for you as well. So if you were to get started today, which kit would you pick? And then you just are quiet and you let them say which kit they would pick.
Yeah, I love here the word, if you would pick today, which kit would you pick, right?
Yeah, it's a very...
I like that too, yeah. I mean, it gives them a little bit, you asking, yeah, if they don't ask themselves, they look at you and said, oh my God, which one? You make it easier for them, actually, if you ask, yeah.
Absolutely. And whatever one they say, you are excited. So I want to tell you the reason why, we always present the smaller kit first and then the larger kit. So our nature is to get more excited about, I'm naturally more excited about the bigger kit. And you want to make sure that your excitement builds and it doesn't decrease. Does that make sense? So it's easier to be more excited about, and you're going to get a free diffuser with this kit. And so that's why we present that one second. And then again, we're not even asking them yet if they want to purchase. We're just asking them which one they would get. And whatever they say, so say someone said, well, I'll start with the Family Essentials Kit, the small bottle kit. I say, oh my goodness, great. I think that's an awesome kit. That way you're going to be able to get started with the oils and figure out which ones would be helpful for you, right now. And then I just say to them, I say, now I always do a purchase today special. So for having this little meeting with me today, I have a gift for you if you end up purchasing today. Right here, and I'll just hold up, these aren't my 2 bottles that I have, but I'll hold up my 2 little bottles and I say, so I have a little stress away blend that I give people, or I have a headache tension blend. Which of these 2 would you?
What is stress away? Like pastilles?
No, I just make my own little roller bottles. So you guys could pick, honestly, anything that you wanted to give away. You want to just give them 2 options, and you want to keep it $3 to $5. So just very small amount. So some people say, so I have a little booklet, or I have an app. Would you like a booklet or an app? And you just let them pick.
Yeah, Brittany, how much dollars did you say?
$3 to $5.
Okay, so it can be homemade roller bottle or something like that.
It could be a homemade roller bottle. It could, anything.
Okay, I didn't get one thing. So when at which point do you talk about this? As I understand, person already said, Yeah, I'm interested in a small bottle kit.
Perfect. I promise I will get to it. So then I'm going to say, great, I know you want that small bottle kit. I've got these 2 free things. Which one would you like? Say they told me they want this stress blend. I said, great, so you'd like that stress blend. And then these are the words that I absolutely love. I say, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you if you wanted to go ahead and get that small bottle kit today on this stress blend today. Would you like to do that? And then you're just quiet.
And then you just wait for a nod. Yes.
Yeah, I just, a yes or a no.
Or maybe I need to talk to my husband, and etc.
So I'll tell you what happens when objections come up. So many people will say yes right then and there. I'm going to say like probably half of the people will say yes, at least.
So you finish this with the like double confirming question. I would not be doing my job if I did not ask you.
Yep, that's my closing question is I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, would you like to buy the small bottle kit today?
I see.
Okay.
Okay, like
I like that.
Yeah. So if they say the objections that come up are husband, and the other objection that comes up is it's too much money.
Yeah.
So let's cover the husband first.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's cover the husband first. So I say to people, my goodness, I totally understand that. What I'm going to do for you then is I'll hold on to this stress blend for you. And if you're able to talk with your husband tonight, can I give you a call tomorrow morning? And will you have been able to talk with him by then? So, and then I just say, right, like, yeah, okay, I'll be able to talk with him, Megan. Great. And so I just mark in my calendar that I'm going to call them tomorrow. So it's not awkward for either of us. I've scheduled time where I'm going to call them. The other thing I say to them is I say, now, is there any other issues or any other reservations that you have? Or is it just that you want to talk with your husband and make sure it's okay with him? Like, I want to make sure that that's the real objection, because oftentimes people will kind of use the husband excuse as you know what I'm saying? And as an excuse for they really don't have enough money or something else. And so I want to know what their other excuse is. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, and then at that point, I will follow back up with them. And sometimes I even say, you know, I'm guessing your husband's going to say yes to you or whatever. So I'll give you the stress blend. And if not, we can meet back up and, you know, I can get it back from you or whatever. But I want to make sure if I'm meeting with them and they live far away or something that you get this oil today. So I'll even have them write out their information and then they can just call me and give me the okay. If they write out all their information, then I'll go ahead and give them that oil. And I'm not really that sad if they end up that they don't, you know, if they end up not buying. It's like, well, I like gave them a sample, right? Those roller bottles, if I make them up myself, it's like a couple bucks at the most. So I'm not overly sad if they didn't end up purchasing. So if someone says, I don't have enough money, then I say, I totally get that. You know what? I have another kit that I want to show you. And I don't have it on here, but I will show you guys. Let me grab it out really fast because it's a good kit. Okay. You guys know these little trio kits? The lemon, lavender, and peppermint.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. So I have a little flyer made up, and it includes the small bottle lemon, lavender, and peppermint and the large bottle lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And rolled into that price is also the wholesale membership. So it's $55 for the small bottle kit and $85 for the large bottle kit. And so I'll pull out that sheet of paper if they tell me it's too expensive for those other kits. And I'll say, so I call this like my husband don't kill me kits, because I know I don't want you to go home and be in trouble with your husband. So we have a little more affordable option. And the key with this is that you have to be more excited about these kits than you are about the first kits. Because, Barbara, what if we had just got done talking about how these oils could help with a lot of your health concerns, and then you told me you don't have enough money? Like, which of us is sadder? Probably you, right? As the customer, you're feeling really sad that you're not able to get all these oils that are going to help you, right?
Yeah, and you can't afford it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit of, you might feel like a little shame, like, I mean, even people feel those emotions, right? And we never want our customers to feel that way. So we want to give them another option, and we want to be really excited about it and tell them why these kits are so amazing. So then you're just going to explain those two kits. You're going to say, so we have a small bottle option here. Again, it's 85 drops. It comes with that lemon, lavender, and peppermint. You'll be able to, help. It's still going to help with headaches and allergies, and help with stress relief and cleansing, like cleaning products and cleansing your water. And then there's also the large bottle kit. If you were to get started today, which of these two kits would you want? And you just go through that same exact verbiage again.
Okay, I like that. I did not even consider that before. I like that.
Yeah. So I don't even go into once they've enrolled. So basically, if they say, yeah, I'll go ahead and get started today. Like, okay, I'll get the small bottle kit or whatever. I say, perfect. And I just hand them the enrollment form. And I say, I'm going to go ahead and get a couple things ready for you, and you just fill this out. If I'm over the phone, I just take down their information really quick. And then I say, before we hop off the phone, I tell them that, this kit actually comes with a year membership, which gives you 25% off of anything for the whole rest of the year. You don't have to purchase monthly or anything like that, but whenever you want to, you get 25% off. So you automatically get that. I haven't mentioned membership or anything else up to this point, because a lot of people get turned off by hearing membership. They think they've got to buy every single month and all of that stuff. And so I don't even bring it up. I just tell them as an after fact that, like, oh, and you get 25% off from here on out. And people are like, oh, okay, that's great, right? Like, they're excited about that. And of course, I'll tell them, I'm going to make sure to plug you into our Facebook group, and you're going to have awesome education and things like that. And then the last thing that I do is I ask for referrals on every appointment. And this has helped me to just be able to continue to reach out to more people and help more people. So the way that I do this is I tell people, before we go, I want to just ask you or let you know that my business is built off of customers referring other people to me. So I really like to meet with either people that I know personally or that have been recommended to me. Now, you don't have to actually think of anybody that you think will for sure buy the oils, but just someone that's nice and that cares about their health. And what's nice about this is there's a lot of people that are hesitant to say, well, this person will buy the oils, right? Or any of that. But it's really easy to think of people that are nice and care about their health. So I tell people, I hand them a little sheet of paper, and it has just name and number on there. And I tell people, if you can think of 5 friends, that just their name and number, just the 5 nicest people that you know that care about their health, and write down their name and number, I'll give you, and then I have like a little wild orange or something like that I end up giving them if they do that. So some people say, no, I don't ever recommend, or I don't know anyone, and I just say, okay, great, no worries. And then we just end the conversation. But oftentimes people will give me referrals, and I'll say, you might have even been thinking about like your mom or sister who could probably use some of these oils or have a health concern that they might be interested in. So that's what I do. And then I have just a little script in which I call people up if I've gotten referrals and I don't know them. And it doesn't feel weird or awkward to me. So I just give people a call and say, you know, I met Liana and we got talking, and she mentioned that you might be interested in learning a little bit more about essential oils, and she told me how nice you are. So typically people don't answer their phone if they don't know the phone number. So I tell them, I just wanted to let you know that I'll give you a call tomorrow as well, but I know that that most people don't answer the phone like the first time if they don't know the number. So hopefully I'll be able to chat with you tomorrow. And I would love to just set up a 30-minute phone conversation to see if you would be interested in learning more about essential oils. And then I just hang up, and then I send them a quick little text that has that same information, because most people, again, don't even check their phone messages. So if they get a text, and then I would say probably half of those referrals call me back or set something up with me. So that's the other way that I'm able to get some other leads or meet other people and, help other people's friends and family out. But I really focus on, I think for you guys too, focus on getting all the way to the close, and then you can just close it out really strong that way. And then you could add in referrals when you're starting to feel more comfortable. What questions do you guys have, or what thoughts do you have about this?
What questions? No questions. Well, the thought, I like how you, and it could easily be done in 30 minutes. That's true.
Yeah, so
And I like
it's nice because it's not going to take up your whole day, right, Barbara?
Pardon?
I said it's nice because it's not going to soak up your whole day, right?
That is right. Or if you have to invite so and so many people, and you pick a day, and you have half the crowd here that you're expecting. So I really like the one-on-one better, and this way you can get a better feeling about the person, what they might need, and they feel a little bit more, I don't know. I have the feeling when you hold a crowd, not everyone is sharing her story or its story, as well as if you would be one-on-one. That's my feeling.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I like that you listen rather than you talk, because that's what I've been doing. Oh, this and this, and that's how I should do it. That's how I do it. And they, and some people ask, so how do you use this? So I wrote down here, you and not I.
Yeah, it takes a little practicing to get used to that too, of doing that. So what I recommend to somebody is to sit down and practice this script once or twice before you go and do it to somebody, just so that you're feeling a little more comfortable and confident with it. But it really only takes running through a few times to get comfortable with it.
That's right. So I practice with my husband.
I love that. I will make sure, so I actually have, let me see. I've got, oh, that's not what I wanted. Yep, here we go. I'm going to just screen share really quick. So I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but we have a whole manual, and it has so much information, but it has this script in there.
Is this a new script?
Oh.
Yep,
That's
it has
neat.
the whole script written out. And what I did is I went through and adjusted things as it fit for my language. And then literally I have a lot of people that just read off of their script or have their script there, and they tell the person, I'm just going to have, it says even right here, I'm going to read from this paper so I don't go off on any tangents and waste your time. So you literally could read from there, right?
I like that. Yeah, because you can easily get sidetracked once I talk, yeah.
Right. And then that's where you are going over 30 minutes, or you know what I mean? Like you can just keep going and going, it feels like. So the
Yeah.
one thing that I don't do is I don't go into a story about me again, because I don't really feel like the people care about, me or my stuff. So I don't do my story here, but I make sure, I ask them their health concerns, what they already know about doTERRA. It's going to guide you through all of that. This company story is really long. I keep mine shorter than that, but if you're just reading it, if you wanted to just sit down and read it to somebody, you could absolutely sell oils just reading this. And it talks about them, and then, here's some of the ways that you can use the oils. And it even goes.
Do you ever take anything out of this and excerpts and send it to people, like in text or whatever? Because that's what I have. I get, oh, how was that again? What was that again? Do you ever do that?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Take excerpts out on what you talked about and then just send it to people.
Yeah. So if someone. I try to take notes on their health concerns, and then I'll write down which oils would be helpful for them with their health concerns, and I will send them a little email when we're done, so that they have that.
Okay.
But honestly, I send them that once they've purchased their oils, because if they don't have any oils, it's not really helpful for them to have, like, here's how you use your oil. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So,
yep.
I'm going to make sure that you guys have this, though, but it's going to also have like the kits here. This graphic is backwards. I like to do the smaller kits first and then the bigger kit. But it has all this information. I just print off this order form for people because it looks really easy for them to and it just has those 2 kits. So again, it's just very simple looking. And then it has a little place for notes.
Yeah, I think it needs to be simple, because one can easily overwhelm. And I remember I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much to read, so much to do in the beginning.
Right. And what we don't want is them to feel like, oh, there's so much to learn and do, that they don't even get their oils, because the most important thing is applying some oils on you, right? So
yeah, and I like to focus on these 2 kits, and if that doesn't work out for some financial reason, then the smaller kit, or 2 smaller ones. I like that.
Yep. So Liana, what thoughts do you have about this?
Uh-oh.
Did we lose her? I know she was just getting home with her little one, so that might be.
No, I just, my phone just died. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just wondering what thoughts you have from this. I would love to know, or help you guys with any implementation of, if you wanted to practice it, and then you maybe wanted to do a practice session one other time, I'll get on and be like your pretend person to practice, if that helps you feel better, or have you guys do that. So that's kind of how I train people in it, is go through, learn the script and mark it up, change things so it's your language and it feels comfortable to you. And then, and then we'll say it out loud or practice it on each other a little bit, because then it's just going to solidify it a little bit better and be a little more comfortable. But
yeah, I like that. I like to go through and put it in my own words, and then go from there and practice a little bit.
Yeah. So Brittany, where do we get the manual?
I am going to send you that link right now.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Thank you. I made some screenshots, but it's not good enough.
Yeah, no. Don't make screenshots. I'm going to send you the whole link right now. In fact, I'm going to just Um,